Welcome to the workshop, everybody. This deck has a lot of problems with it. These posts are just nailed in, massively out of plumb. The railing, that's a ladder, so we're gonna fix that. And maybe the biggest problem of all, and which is why you should always pull a building permit for your deck projects, is this up here. Whoever built this before just nailed it. So we're gonna fix it. This comes down, a new one goes up, and backyard life resumes. Quick tip for your DIY deck project, have your lumber delivered. I use these guys because they're awesome, and they've got one of these. So I'm gonna help him with traffic. It's a slightly busy road. Pressure treated! So cladding is siding, whether it's vinyl, brick veneer, stucco, wood, whatever it is, it has to go so you can get back to the house's band joist. Now, the band joist was never meant to be in what we call wet service or outside. So what we're gonna do is apply some peel and stick bituminous membrane. Quick tip for cutting, it's not bituminous, that's coal. Bitumen, this rubberized membrane right here. Get a sharp knife. This is my Hyde 25mm snap-off knife. And what I do is sometimes I get the cut started, and then instead of running the knife through the material, I run the material, trying for timing here. Through the knife. Who wants to play stickers with me? I get a moon sticker. I get a star sticker. Here's another tip. If you're doing this in direct sunlight, try not to. Because it gets hot and it might want to kind of go all a little liquidy on you. The prescriptive code says that the ledger board at the door shall be flashed, this is flashing, and caulked. Not or caulked, not you can come up with your own ideas if you feel like it, but and caulked. It's belt and suspenders, you don't ever have to think about it again, and it takes 5 seconds. So the first thing I do is check if the door is level, if there's a high side or a low side, and go from there. And what I'll do is I'll use the low side of the door as my control point. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm doing here is the laser level doesn't show you where your line is, it just shows you level. You use it as a reference point to measure to where your line is. So I measured down from the door, 1 7/8 inches. Then I measured up from my line over there. And from the line to the bottom to my mark is 16 3/4. So I come down here where I know it's level. I come up 16 3/4, mark that, snap a line between the two. This is like Egypt straight. Bam! And carpentry begins. Oh, that's a nice. That's a very, very nice. And this is a good trick if you don't build decks all the time, because it's easy to make a mistake with layout later if you lay out the beam separately from the ledger. So now, we lay them both out at once. That is dead money flush. 16 centers. So the girder's marked. This is the top. We know that because that's where our marks are. We can put this aside till we need it later. So we can put the band joist on there. But you don't cut 3 inches off one end because that will shift your layout over. You cut 1.5 inches off each end, then it goes on the house. Wormy McSquirmy. Talk to me, Goose. I love being able to see the blade. Also, always have a trash can nearby. Now that I know where my joists are, I can place my fasteners as the prescriptive code calls for. The code wants the fasteners 2 inches in from each edge of the band joist, and they want them in an alternating pattern. 2, 2, 2. Come on over here. We're going to do 2. We're going to snap a line. So this is my standoff block. I put it here because when I put the ledger board in, there would have been no way for me to manage the ledger, getting it up on the line, and coming down here to measure 1.5 inches off the vinyl. So I let the wood do it for me, threw a block in there. Now I'm going to take it out. This will be replaced with our band joist later. Zigzag them, baby. Okay, band joist. So what this is whether you're working alone or you're working with other people, this is a cleat. I'll use it for the right-hand side band joist after that. It's also another reason why I screw everything together. I could leave this here, I can take it out, I can move it. If I'm wailing through here with gun nails, this connection is hard to do what I call edit. Awesome! One more. I love making stuff with wood. I do. Can't make it up. Well, you can with wood. See what I did there? Does he ever stop talking? Does the talking ever end with this guy? Oh yeah, that's super sweet. I am going to use that for my outside band. And I'm going to take and set a couple screws. I call this top-down framing. I build the whole deck in the air. I love doing it this way. Ready, set, go. Oh, that's so sweet. Send her home. Flush. Like it. We've made our mark to the front of our strong back support, so I know where to put it so it is in line with that one. Take my hide tool, shim that up just so the bubble is on the outside edge of the line. And there you have it, an outside band joist. Let's party. Somebody call Pythagoras. We gotta square this puppy up. Woohoo! First math. I measured 3 feet this way. I measured 4 feet this way, so right out here like this, out of the same corner. When this is square to this, the distance from here to here will be 5 feet. I rigged up a little something off our 2x4 cleat here, which is a quick angle brace. And that's how you do it. Here's an alternative way to square up your band joists. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I'm going to get something that I know is A plus B plus C squared and put it up here to use it as a gauge. This is the beam. I take a slightly different approach. I want the shape to be different and I want it to be useful. Somebody give me some tools. All right. Slow is fast on a cut like that. Take your time. Ha ha ha! I'm right on the line. Next thing is to cut a duplicate of this and install it with the good side out, fasten together, and there's our double girder. With the beam already installed, I can use it to simply plumb down and mark the center of my post hole location. The reason for the edger, let me come flying right at you. The reason for the edger is that I find a square hole much easier to dig. So I get it started with this, then I'll dive into it with the long-handled shovel. This sleeve isolates the post from the microbes and different things in the ground, and means I can put my post in the post hole. So that also means the metric ton of dirt I have over here, I can also put back in the hole, and I'm not mixing as much concrete as I otherwise would. Making my own notch block out of a throwaway 2x6. I spax it together. It's my exact shoulder cut size. I just mark it. 1, 2. The next phase of post-ammonium is to get it plumb in this direction, and this direction. And the way I do that, with support blocks that I call bridges below. All right, here's another look at the post-installation technique that I'm using on this deck. I've got my carry blocks here. Once it's in the hole and it's on my layout marks, I go to the clamp blocks. Clamp blocks support the clamps, of course, and once you get a little tension right here, then you're really in micro control. I've never set a deck post easier than that. I'll just make sure it's squeezed, throw some power lags in around the back, put my supports in at the bottom, and I'm ready for framing.